All right. We should be all set here. Welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Carlito Santiago, and today we are here to talk about, of course, the go home episode of Raw before Clash in Paris, of course, taking place on Sunday. So there's a lot of time that would have been spent hyping up the PLE, tying up some loose ends with storylines that will be featured. So what did we get? Well, I'm here to tell you. The Tribal Chief has arrived in the UK. This week's early edition of Raw started at 3 p.m. I wasn't able to catch all of it, so only clips. So, Raw from England opened with a recap of last week's show and the usual shots of superstars arriving to the arena. As advertised, Reigns kicked off things for Raw after soaking in the love from the crowd for a couple of minutes with various chants and singing the songs that they sing. The OTC finally spoke and said he has big plans for the rest of 2025 and into the next year. Reigns said he is no longer the man he used to be, but can be once again. Reigns talked about how he no longer has the bloodline backing him up, but he took a moment to say he was proud of Jay. Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed came out to taunt Reigns. The segment went on for quite some time before the crowd kept chanting different things repeatedly. See, Reed also has a history, gave us a history lesson about his Samoan tribe's history. They ended up running towards each other and brawling in the aisle after both men started talking some trash. They battled into the ring until security tried to break them up unsuccessfully. They fought until the show had to go to a break. So the first 20 minutes was pretty much standard stuff, but the fight between Reigns and Reed helped to make the ending more exciting. For it, it's a C+. I think we can bump it up there to about maybe a B- because it's good. Honestly, nothing negative, so maybe even a B, but this is pretty straightforward for what it's worth as an opening. I mean, Reigns looked genuinely happy at the reception he was getting from the crowd, so that's a good thing, I guess. But Bronson Reed will be taking on Roman Reigns at the Clash in Paris pay-per-view, or PLE, I should say. Dragon Lee took on JD McDonough. JD McDonough had maybe a little bit of a mishap on the top rope. I don't know if they clarify or make this any notable observations, but I'm looking. No, I don't see anything that maybe they mention it in here. But JD McDonough looked like he hurt his head after a Spanish fly attempt, and it looked nasty. The first match of the night saw Dragon Lee take on JD McDonough from the Judgment Day. Finn Balor accompanied his tag team partner to the ring. They started by trading some chops in the corner. Lee took control and took out McDonough at the knee. Finn Balor tried to interfere, but the ref saw and tossed him away from the ringside area. Cut to a break. Of course, we then returned. Thank you. We returned from a break to see both men down after McDonough hit a superplex. That was it. The superplex looked pretty fucking nasty. I think the superplex that they did looked nasty on JD McDonough. Once they got to their feet, they started picking up the pace again. This was a fun match between two guys who are great at what they do. Even though they have different styles, it felt like they meshed together perfectly. This was a great display of how versatile both these superstars are in the ring. So, how did we get this ending? How did Dragon Lee win? Well, Dominic Mysterio interfered, but was quickly dispatched by AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. Right after he tripped Lee. This allowed the High Flyer to hit his finisher and score the victory. Lee doesn't really have a tag team partner, so he can't really challenge for the tag team titles, but he did pin one half of the tag team champions, so Rey Mysterio may be coming back? Who knows? All I know is that AJ Styles and Dominic aren't done yet. Penta took on Kofi Kingston. After he battled Xavier Woods last week, Penta found himself facing another half of the New Day. This week, he took on Kingston. See, Penta took control early with some chops in the corner, and he had the former WWE Champion retreating for a break after a few more moves. And during the break, Kingston hit a back body drop onto the announce table, but the masked luchador started making a comeback when we returned, because that's how it always is. See, this bout had a good pace, and it felt even more competitive than Penta's match with Woods last week. See, Kingston is more of a high flyer, so he was able to adapt to his style to match the luchador. With a little help from Grayson Waller, Kingston was able to hit the Trouble in Paradise to get the victory over Penta. It's rare to see Kingston get a win, and it's rare to see the New Day successful. But here they have a feud, I guess, against Penta, who's right now they're kind of meshing in the mid-card. WWE is unfortunately unable to do anything with their tag team division on Raw, which is pissing me the fuck off. And anybody else the fuck off. So really, what are we doing with those WWE tag team titles there? Triple H? Huh? What are we doing with those titles? Huh? We're just gonna keep them. We're just gonna keep them on JD and Finn Balor for whenever you decide to take them the fuck off. Adam Pearce, schedule some tag team championship matches, please. I don't care if nobody likes it. Fucking do it. At least you have a tag team division that is seen and heard. Penta already has one of the most recognizable entrances and themes in WWE, and he hasn't even been in the company that long. Graded a B, and I am going to give it a B-. This did feel like a little bit of a C+ match. With Kingston winning, that can be a plus to me. So yeah, maybe, I mean, a whole little chops and shit. This match felt almost like this match. But this one gets a B+ because of everything that's tied into it. See, this one doesn't have anything tied into it. So I can see why it's a lower grade. An old rivalry reignited. I don't know if this is... I don't think it's an old rivalry reignited. I don't think that's the best phrase. I think it's more of a... previously on this feud. Like, that's what it really comes down to. Because Becky came to the ring for a promo and immediately started talking trash about Birmingham, where the show was taking place, but she was soon interrupted by Nikki Bella. They traded some trash talk, insults, and the segment ended with Lynch retreating after Nikki got the better of her. This was short and uneventful, but it worked as a filler segment before the showdown at Sunday, because apparently they're going to have a match for the Women's IC title. And it's not an old rivalry reignited. We have seen in the past weeks that this feud has been building to it happening. We know because right after SummerSlam, Nikki interrupted Becky and got punched in the fucking face. So, no, it's not an old rivalry reignited. Becky has just been filling some time to, you know, do her over-the-seas shit. And Nikki's not really a part of that. Apparently, Rhea Ripley took on Roxanne Perez. Another... What are we fucking doing here? God. Jesus Christ. Rhea Ripley, despite Ripley having a significant size advantage over Perez, Perez was the one who came out of the gates with most of the aggression. It didn't take long for the Eradicator to gain the upper hand, but she had seemed surprised by Roxanne at first. See, the Prodigy kept taking breaks at ringside when she couldn't make any progress. She needed to resort to using Rodriguez as a distraction so she could hit a suicide dive. So Perez would take out Rhea's knee. So after this, she was firmly in control for a long time. But Ripley was able to make a comeback and score the win with her finisher. Rodriguez went after her once the match was over. She and Perez double teamed until Io Sky made a save, sending them packing. The match was decent. The post-match angle will keep the story going, but nothing surprising here moving forward. Of course, as we can see, now we have our teams. Of course, now, if they wanted to, and you got Io and Ripley now being friends. You also have Asuka and Kairi Sane, who are kind of like done with Io after being more friends with fucking Ripley. And then you have the women's tag team titles. And then there's just too much going on here to keep track of. You don't want, you tell Rhea you don't want her fucking, you want to keep distance. But then you go out and fucking help her after she's getting double teamed. Make up your fucking minds. What the fuck is going on here? No wonder it's a B-. Well-deserved B-. Good grade. Keep it. AJ Styles took on Finn Balor. See, AJ Styles and Finn Balor have a lot of history. See, Dom asked Balor to take care of Styles for him tonight. So the former two Bullet Club leaders had a singles match. This time, Balor chose to do things by himself instead of having anyone from Judgment Day at ringside. These two men know each other well. Very well. So it took them no time at all to find their groove and make this a fun match. See, the first few were mostly a series of counters from both men. It seemed like an even matchup between the two veterans, but the phenomenal one ended up getting a much quicker win than expected with a Styles clash. There was no interferences and no questionable finish. This was just a short, clean win for Styles. Boring, I guess. C+. I mean, no what you're giving him a B- to be nice. It's a B- for nice. Like, I don't know. I don't think this is if it was really short, if it was a short clean win for Styles, they made Balor look like a fucking idiot. They made him go out there and made him look like fucking dog shit, if anything. So no, we're gonna call it as it is. It's getting changed to a C plus. So fuck that. And then of course you get your main event. You got Braun Breaker versus LA Knight. Yeah. See, Braun Breaker was making his way through the back, and he was attacked by Roman Reigns. Once the OTC was sent away, the LA Knight attacked Braun Breaker and brought him into the arena. Making sure we keep the Braun separated, so you don't get a fucking Bronson. Good. The Megastar was able to continue controlling the pace through the breaks. In fact, Breaker never even had a chance to take off his shirt because he had been taking a beating since he was backstage. Once the powerhouse started building momentum, he ran Knight over with a shoulder tackle to completely turn things around, finally taking off that shirt. It took a while for Knight to hit a DDT to give himself a little more time to recover. These two men have worked together enough to know how each other operates, so they were able to put on a good performance that made both men look good. And look good they did. Seth Rollins showed up and distracted Knight so Breaker could hit a huge spear at ringside. He rolled him back into the ring and hit a second spear to capture the win. So Breaker won. Okay. Jey Uso and CM Punk both came out to help fend off Rollins and his cronies after they continued attacking Knight. The show ended with Jey Uso taking out Punk and Knight after everyone else had left. Also, Dom and Styles for an IC title match was booked for next week during a backstage segment. Okay, I'm baffled by the ending of this show. This is your go home show. You have, instead of LA Knight picking up some momentum, or even having the three people who are in contendership for the world title being a triple threat match, you have him lose. You have Breaker win against LA Knight. Anything to just get us to the fucking pay-per-view, right? Anything to just get us to the PLE. B. Yeah, sure, B. After the hot opening, and then this ending, making no fucking sense. Yeah. You know what? Let's just get to the final words. See, Monday's episode of Raw from England was exactly the kind of show you would expect leading into a PLE. Just about every match had been featured on Sunday was addressed in some way, shape, or form, especially with the first and last segments of the night. Yeah, but in a shitty fucking way. As far as the in-ring action was concerned, JD McDonough and Lee stole the show with their match, but Penta and Kingston were not far behind. The WWE superstars are capable of putting on great performances when they are allowed to, but the booking often hamstrings them in a lot of ways. Of course, how you book the fucking ending matters, especially the main event. And then most of the other shit, if you haven't seen a pattern in the past fucking other matches, I'm sorry if you guys didn't check this out, look at the fucking pattern that you did. Superstar versus one half of a tag team champion. Superstar versus one half of a tag team. Superstar versus one half of a tag team. Oh, Superstar faces one half of a fucking tag team. It seems like a superstar has to take on one half of a fucking tag team every fucking week, right? But this week it really showed. And then the main event, what tag team? Braun Breaker's not part of a tag team. He's part of a group. But what the fuck? See, Monday Night Raw was largely this Monday Night Raw was largely forgettable. But it wasn't a bad show. It just didn't have anything to make it stand out. Though it addressed some of the shit that's there. So, watch this at your own will if you want to. Before, the PLE. If you want. I wouldn't. I think I'd tune into SmackDown and see what they got. Because they've been going on with a lot of their programs. Tag teams, women's. They're giving you a variety of things that you can be interested in, opposed to this shit. No story. Only promo, match, go back down, match, nothing else, and then match. They're not even giving you a fucking tag team match either. They're giving you bullshit. So this was graded. What was the final grade for this? What was it? B fucking minus? Yeah, B minus. No, I think honestly, yeah, that's probably the grade for this week too. It's probably a B minus with all the changing grades I did with the C plus and shit. Yeah, this shit was so forgettable. So watch at your own will if you decide to. Well, this was the Raw review. Clash in Paris is actually. It's gonna be. Let's see. It's fucking. And then Worlds Collide in Las Vegas. Is that what I'm getting at right here? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah. September 12th, Las Vegas. Don't forget about that. Obviously, we're going to be watching that. And then we're going to be heading to that Monday. We're going to be headed to Springfield for that Monday Night Raw. So I cannot wait for that shit. That's going to be fucking amazing. But, yeah, Clash in Paris. They've got, what do they got? They got 5 matches. 5 fucking matches. That's it. SmackDown needs to add a match. SmackDown and Sony needs to add a match. But my predictions are coming soon for this. My predictions. And, of course, they didn't even address this shit. Like, okay. So, let's see. The following week. Okay, so Monday Night Raw. Oh, check this out. So, finally giving her something. So, General Manager Adam Pearce announced that there would not be a match for the vacant Women's World Championship at Clash in Paris. That sucks. Instead, Vakir would challenge a to-be-announced opponent at a later date to determine the new champion. So you're just really fucking over Vakir here. She won a battle royal that was promised that she'd be facing having a women's world championship at the pay-per-view. So, I mean, again, I'm glad Adam Pearce announced this, or made awareness to this. But the fact that the fact of the matter is that at Evolution, that battle royal means nothing now. That battle royal completely means fucking absolutely nothing. It means nothing. It means fucking squat. It means nothing anymore. If anything, they should have fucking switched it and said, you know what, at Evolution, the battle royal, we're gonna have you fucking face at SummerSlam. Winner faces champion at SummerSlam. That way, Stephanie Vakir already get her title match. But nope. That battle royal meant fucking nothing now. Meant fucking nothing. So, this is all we have. 5 matches. SmackDown, hopefully. Again, you guys know, if there's any matches that get announced for SmackDown, I will mention it beforehand, and I have so on Saturday. I can easily announce the match on that show if they make an announcement for a match being added from SmackDown side. Most of it's Raw. Like, these 4 matches right here are all from Raw. 1 SmackDown match. They should add another one, make it 6. They probably will. I'll announce it on fucking SmackDown Summary on Saturday. But my predictions are coming out Thursday this week. I'm not doing the Saturday, where I give you 2 streams. I'm not like that. I got to save for some time. So you'll get the predictions Thursday. You'll get this, you get the SmackDown Summary Saturday, and you'll get the review of Clash in Paris on Monday, because that's Labor Day. So, treat for you guys. And then, of course, Tuesday, you'll get the Raw review. Like so. But anyway, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I'll see you guys on Thursday. And then Saturday. And then next Monday. Peace!